Hello and welcome. Today we are going to see how can we print a Kois Deprogrammer which is designed in 3-shape Splint Studio using the Dental LT Clear resin by Formlabs and printed in Formlabs 4B. So we have designed this in 3-shape and we have the output file or the output STL of the splint over here, as you can see, and we wish to print this in our Formlabs 4B. So the first step is to open the PreForm, which is the slicing software dedicated for Formlabs. So the first step is to select the printer with which we are going to print the Kois. Select the resin. The best part about the Formlabs is since the resins are fully validated and the resin are also manufactured by the primary parent company which makes or manufactures the 3D printer, the entire workflow is fully validated. So we select LT Clear 100 microns and we apply this. Now we drag drop our Kois into the PreForm, orient the file. So we want to have the file where the anterior part is actually facing the build plate and the posterior part is about 30-40 degrees angled, so that it is also quite self-supporting and it requires less amount of finishing. So let's go to support now. So we have oriented the file to about 30-40 or about 30 to 45 degrees angle, and we go to supports. I want to change the raft to mini rafts. I want to change the raft thickness to 0.5 and the lift or the height above the raft to about 3 millimeters would be enough, and I'm going to select auto generate the supports. So this is how it's going to generate the support for my print. If I wish, I can always add more supports manually. So looking at this, if at all I wish that I want to add a few more supports here, I can always do that. But since if you notice the print validation over here, we have a checkbox at all the 3 things that the printer has already checked for us. So I'm pretty sure that we can definitely go ahead and proceed with these many supports. So here it shows how long it's going to take with the resin. So it's going to take about 54 minutes to print and it's going to use about 4 ml of resin. Alright, so this is how we're going to slice and then upload it to the printer right now. So we are now going to see how we can get the cartridge that comes from the Formlabs, how we can get it ready and how do we load it in the printer and start the print. So we're going to be using the Dental LT Clear resin by Formlabs over here. So this is a sealed bottle. So the cartridge that comes with the resin comes sealed. It has a vent over here. So you are supposed to actually open this seal that is over here so that you can release the vent, and at the bottom of the tank you have a valve which you're going to split open so that it can release the resin once the printing is started. So you take a cutter and give a split. Alright, so that's the split over here. So once you're done with this, then we take our cartridge and you directly load the cartridge into the printer. Open the valve that is there over here. It's going to detect that you have inserted a LT Clear cartridge, and as you can see that the printer has detected that since the resin tank that we were earlier using it for a different resin. That's why when the cartridge is inserted, it's not proceeding right now. So we're going to go, if you remember that we have uploaded our print to the queue. So let me select this right now and let me hit the print button. So it's going to tell me that you have inserted an incorrect tank. The tank does not match the resin that is required because the tank is earlier used for something else which it has already detected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore that, and it's going to ask me that are you sure that you want to reprogram the tank to this particular resin, and I'm going to say yes. Alright, so now it's going to start printing and hopefully it's going to take the resin from there. If you can see, the resin has already started inserting. I don't know because I can't. Let me try and open the lid and show it to you. If you can see here, the resin is still dropping down over there and it's filling the tank. Alright, so it's detected that I've opened the cover. So let's close that. It's going to fill the tank automatically till the time or whatever quantity is required for the print to be successful, and then start the process of printing. It's going to heat it to the desired temperature and then start the printing process. Simultaneously, till the time we are seeing that it's filling the entire tank, the mixer continuously mixes the resin to make sure all the photopolymers or photoinitiators in the resin are uniformly mixed, allowing us to receive a very good print as an output. Once the printer has detected that it has sufficient resin, then it starts the heating process, and then as you can see right now, it starts the printing has started. It shows the amount of time that it's going to take to print, which is around about 54 minutes as we saw while we were slicing, and it's going to now complete the entire printing process and the print is going to be ready. Then we are going to see how we wash the print and then cure the print and get it ready for our patient. As you can see that the print is ready, and the first step is you unlock the build plate and retrieve the build plate from the printer. We now take it on a platform where we have some disposable liner so that the excess resin that falls does not make contact with the platform or table that you're using, and then does not cause any contamination. We use the flexi plate to release the print from the build plate. Now in our case, since we had put very thin rafts, it's not able to, or the rafts also flexes enough that it doesn't detach from the build plate. So you can use a scraper like that. Since you're directly hitting the base or the rafts, the prints are absolutely safe and we're able to retrieve the print. Now the print is ready to go for a wash. If you see, it's intact with the rafts on, and doesn't it look gorgeous? It looks like absolutely clear like glass. So now we take it to our Form Wash 2, and so you immerse it into the basket that is there, which is filled with 99% isopropyl alcohol. You now deglove so that you do not touch the uncured resin. Glove with your machine or the touch panels or the buttons, and you select a cycle that is instructed. In our case, it's going to be a 10-minute cycle. Alright, so we're going to perform a 10-minute wash cycle. If we open the lid, you can see how thoroughly the print gets washed into a washing unit. So this is a non-negotiable. A thorough wash is very important. Once the washing cycle is done, the print raises on its own, and there is a lid below it that closes also itself, eventually preventing the isopropyl alcohol from the wash to evaporate. You can now let the print dry for as long as it takes, and then it goes for your curing. In the last step, we saw how did we manage to put the print into the Form Wash 2, and how after finishing the entire wash, the print was raised up where it was left for drying. Now, as we can see, once the prints are washed, there is no uncured resin adhered to your print. So it's actually very safe to touch now, and you can handle the prints without gloves now, and you let it air dry completely. So this is how it has, or this is what it looks after complete air drying. So what we are going to do now is we are going to go to Form Cure 2. We are going to select, so the resin that we have used over here is Dental LT Clear. So we are going to go into the resin and we are going to select the specific resin, which is Dental LT Clear version 1. So we are going to select that and just like that, it's going to decide what is the right temperature for this print and what is the ideal curing time for this print, which for this print is 60 degrees Celsius, 10-minute cure. So it needs to be cured for 10 minutes at 60 degrees Celsius. We have a bowl of glycerol inside, which is nothing but a 1:1 mixture of glycerine and water. This is used so that we are able to completely eradicate the oxygen inhibition layer of the print. So you're going to actually dip it. So let me try and dip this half right now. Finish a 5-minute cycle and then switch it and dip the rest half of it into the glycerol while it is curing. Alright, so let's close it and let's start the print. So just like that, you have a rotating plate which is going to rotate and it's going to start heating it. As you can see, it's at room temperature right now. It's going to heat to 60 degrees Celsius, then maintain the temperature at 60 degrees and cure for 10 minutes to achieve the ideal properties that the resin should achieve. So in this case right now, we have used it for a Kois Deprogrammer, but this resin is the resin that you ideally use for making your permissive splints and any type of splints that you generally would like to fabricate in-house. So once the cure reaches 60 degrees Celsius, this is how the curing starts. As you can see that it has 3 light sources that are continuously curing it from every direction to achieve a very, very uniform cure. And as you can see in the print, the print looks just amazing, when that UV light falls on it. So if you ask me personally, a curing machine is something that you should ideally put it, somewhere where a patient can't miss it. It's such a great thing to have and such a fascinating thing for the patients to actually see happening for their own or some other patient's prints, but it's really awesome. So if you ask me personally, I would recommend that it should be like a showpiece, in your waiting room where the patients get to see, something that's rotating and something that's really, really cool. And it's a fantastic icebreaker where a patient will make sure, or you make sure that the patient definitely asks you, "Doc, what's happening there?" It's really cool. And, and it opens so many doors for you to explain to the patient that what all you do these days in your practice. Alright, so once we are done with the entire curing cycle, we remove our print and then we go ahead and wash it, and this is the final product after drying. Alright, so at this stage now, the supports are fully matured and you can actually just snap most of the supports without using any instrument, just with your fingers. So you go ahead and snap the supports. If you notice that there is hardly any finish that is actually required on the entire palatal surface, you can see how beautifully it shines. So hardly any finish required. The only finish that we required is at this part of the scalloping and little bit at the platform level all over the place. Once you're done, you can use a normal denture finishing and polishing kit for this purpose, and that's it. Voila, your Kois Deprogrammer is ready to be delivered to the patient.